Hey, welcome back to another show of the Awesome Life podcast. I'm Karen Stultz, your host, and I'm the founder of the Awesome Life Success System and the Heart Energy Techniques to help you release anything that might be going on quickly, easily, and safely without any regret whatsoever. And today I have the most awesome guest. As I've said, don't I always have awesome guests? That's what this is all about. And I know that because we connected immediately. When we met, the energy back and forth was huge. This is Janice Wisneski. I did say it right?
It's close enough.
I had it right a second ago, guys. Well, Janice is amazing. And she is a health coach, and her history is kind of cool. And we'll go into a little bit more of that, but she just was able to change her life. And that's what this is all about for women in transition who want to be empowered, who want to be inspired for the possibilities. We knew that we were connected together because indeed we both started this transition much later in our lives. And hey, it has been absolutely amazing, absolutely awesome. And that's what we want to inspire our listeners to achieve as well. She inspires women to lose weight without starvation by changing their mindset without medication. She's also a former nurse, a respiratory therapist. But before I botch any more of this, guys, I want you to meet Janice because she is just absolutely amazing. And I'm going to have her tell you her story. So welcome, Janice.
Thank you, Karen. That was such a good introduction. You did very well.
Well, you know what? We were having such a fun conversation before, and you can come on over to the YouTube and visit with us and see Janice and all of her beauty. It is absolutely amazing. But Janice has quite a story. Would you share that with us? How did all of this begin?
Absolutely. Well, my name is Janice Wisneski, and from now on, I'm going to be known as your health coach, Janice. That's basically what I do now. But for the past 30 years, I was a respiratory therapist, and the past 2 on the front lines. I've always worked in clinical healthcare.
So you've been in the hospital front lines, you're talking.
Absolutely. Yeah. 1-to-1 with everything that's going on face to face.
And at the time of this recording, COVID is rampant and picking up again. So you were right there. And as a respiratory therapist, whoa.
Yeah, right in the deep of it. I know, I was pushing 60 about a year ago, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with the stress and the workload. So I decided to go into a different realm. And 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, I had lost 70 pounds using a ketogenic lifestyle. And it worked for me. I had helped a few other people work through some issues that they had and lose weight as well. And so I decided to go ahead and become certified as a health coach. I became a certified health coach, a certified personal trainer, and I'm currently awaiting my certification as a Success Principles trainer with the Jack Canfield Group.
Yay, that is so cool. But help me, I know I love releasing weight. I have my ways of helping my clients release weight as well. But tell me more about the ketogenic lifestyle. And I've heard of the keto diet a lot. It's mainstream now, but I don't know anything about it. So can you educate me?
Oh my gosh, can I educate you? I'll give you the crash course though. You know what? Everybody thinks this is what happened. So I was in healthcare and I was watching people very much younger than me become sicker younger. and watching people taking 20 to 30 pills at breakfast, and then having a tray full of food that was going to increase their sugar, and then end up having to take insulin after breakfast. And I just thought it was just not working. And I couldn't say anything in the position that I was in. So I decided to go out on a limb and try something else. Personally, the keto lifestyle was amazing for me. So when I started, I was in that, we grew up in the 80s, like 70s, 80s, and fat was bad. Like they made fat bad. Everything had to be low fat. You had, you couldn't eat fat, and it was all bad. And we were supposed to eat margarine and all kinds of other things in place of that. And that's how I grew up. So that's what I thought was true. But what I found out after I did a lot of investigating, because believe me, I was like not going to be the person that was going to die of a heart attack because they had, too much bacon. I didn't want that to be me. So I did just a lot of investigating, and I found out that the things that I had learned in my past weren't really exactly what was on the up and up. So I decided to give it a shot. This is the lowdown. I'm going to tell you the lowdown. I was like, you know what? I needed to lose weight. I was 225 pounds, and I couldn't do it again. Like I couldn't do this for the rest of my life, be that heavy and so unhealthy. I was pre-diabetic. I was having vision problems, high blood pressure, joint pain, all that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to do this, even though I'm not sure about it. But the good thing was I figured if I died, at least I would be a really good looking corpse. So 5 years later, I'm still alive. I'm still here to tell about it. So there's a lot of different ways to go about the keto lifestyle, though. You hear a lot about high fat, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't need to be that way. I do a healthy fat keto lifestyle. I don't do a high fat keto lifestyle. And so that's, I think, where I differ a little bit. I find that it works for me and it works for the clients that I have in a better way than doing the high fat, like throwing the butter in the coffee and doing that kind of thing. Sometimes that works for people. But I found that it doesn't.
That's part of the keto system.
Yeah, you know what? That's something that's like one of those myths that you hear. There's just a lot about it. So ketogenic lifestyle the ketogenic diet started back in the early 1900s when they were trying to find a way to adjust for epilepsy, and high fat and like minimal to no carbs is the best way. It really is the best way to keep epilepsy under control in a norm.
Interesting.
So when then at some point in time, they came out with medication. And so then the medication overtook the dieting part of it, because, who wants to live like that lifestyle when you could actually just take a pill? It's the story of my healthcare career.
Yeah,
why would you want to actually take care of yourself using food as medicine instead? You could just take a pill.
Yeah. And I can relate to that, because I remember back in the day when my two sister-in-laws within a week told me, Karen, have you ever been tested for dyslexia? Because I think you might have it. And I was 52 at the time. And I said, no, and I can't have it. And so we looked. They were very sweet and very gently had me look it up, and oh, dang it. I do have dyslexia, only I've learned how to deal with it. And I went into depression for a couple of days because there was no pill for it. And I thought, well, that's pretty stupid, isn't it? I don't take pills. So, why would I want a pill for dyslexia,
Yeah, I know, but you just like reach for that. You grab for whatever the quickest thing will be to fix whatever you have.
Yeah, but if you can use it with your with a new lifestyle, a new mindset, a new way of living with a keto diet, or a variation of it, that sounds much healthier.
Yeah, it's really my whole thing on that is that it's really backed up by evolution. For 250,000 years, the human body has eaten like that. So cavemen ate meat and fat and berries and things that grew above the ground, and that's kind of how we ate. And so looking at the way the human body is made, it kind of backed up what I had thought. Now, in saying that, I'm not going to say that I only eat meat and fat and berries. I eat other things too. There's this thing called the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. So I go kind of with that. My whole thing with my clients is that 80% of the time you do the right thing, and then 20% of the time you just have fun. So if you're going to a birthday party and you want to have cake, you go ahead and have cake. And if you want to have pizza and a beer with your friends, you go ahead and do that. But then the rest of the time, you just monitor what you do. Believe me, I don't starve. I eat more calories now than I've ever eaten in my life. And I'm at the lowest weight that I've been in a long time. I went from a size 20 down to a size 5.
Oh my gosh.
I settled into a 7. So that's where I'm at right now.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And I don't exercise all day long. I don't do any of that anymore. I used to do like the chronic starvation, the 800 calorie diets and did the, 2 hours of cardio every day. And I thought that's how you stayed fit and trim. And lo and behold, I was wrong.
Wow. So it sounds like it isn't all that difficult to actually maintain this diet lifestyle.
It really isn't. I have variations for everything. I get a lot of my clients. Some of my clients are like really sweet-aholics. And that's one of the things that you need to release is sugar. Sugar is really bad for your body. And we all know it is. So I'm not telling anybody anything new. But when you think about the habits that you have and your mindset, that's where that comes in.
Wow.
So we work on that mindset to release the need for sugar. And that just really turns everybody around. Inflammation stops. I've had clients who have stopped daily migraines. I'm not saying it works for everybody. I'm just saying that it works for some. I've had a lot of people who've lost a lot of weight and become to the point where they've discussed coming off their medications with their doctors. So, it's just been really nice for me. I'm very happy at where I'm at, but I'm very encouraged to help other women, to empower them, to help them find their own path.
Yeah. And it really is an individual thing, isn't it? I think that's one of the things that you and I really did come in sync with, is that everyone is an individual, and what works for one does not work for another. So it's key to finding a good coach to really recognize what you need to do to have it fit in with your lifestyle. And that's what well, in my case, it's a money mindset lifestyle. And for you, it is a health and fitness lifestyle. And it's all in the mindset, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that what you just said is everybody is an individual and everybody is different is so, so important.
Yeah.
When I deal with clients that are coming from different scopes of life, different places in their life, I mean, I have people anywhere from 35 all the way up to 75-year-olds, always women, because I just feel like I have a better connection with women. I have a better connection with that, where they're at. I know where they're coming from, but each one is individual. There is nothing like cookie cutter about us. We've been through so many different things in life. We've had so many different journeys, and there are so many different things to touch on. I'm not a physician. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not, dietitian. I don't do any of that. I just lead people where they want to go. I help them to find their own path, and whatever that is, we work around it. That's what a coach is.
That's what a coach is. And I think that is what is most desirable about hiring a coach. And everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a coach. But what is most desirable is that you're not confined by the licensures of the state and of the government that keep you from sharing information, as you couldn't share a lot of this information with your patients in the hospital because it was against your licensure. And
Yeah, I gotta say, everybody, like I said, everybody is different. I found the path for me. My clients find their own path, like you said. I'm not, we all need healthcare practitioners. We all do. I see mine all the time. I gotta tell you, they're amazed when we go in and you're 60 years old and you're not taking any medication. My doctor actually told me, the last time I went in, he's like, you have the blood pressure of a 16-year-old. I said, I wish I had the body of a 16-year-old.
Well, it sounds
Um,
like you do, and you
oh,
look
no, no.
like
Oh,
you
you know,
do.
it's all pretty, but I'm 60. Hello. But, and then there's things like that, like my optometrist who was shocked because my vision actually got better after I changed my diet. And that's what it is. You're changing the food you eat, and it can change the things that you do. I'm not promising anything, believe me. I just share what I did. Like, this is what I did. This is what worked for me.
But you
My
also
clients
have,
do their own thing.
but you also have alternatives. This is what worked for me. And I've heard, or I know that other people have found this to work as well.
Yes. And I know that for a truth, I do know that for a truth. And so, I think that as women, as older women, especially, that, just trying to find our path to the next
Mhm.
segment of our lives. And it's so important to have someone there to help you through that. And like you said, coaching is very important. You can't sit in a box and just do it by yourself. You can't, these last couple of years, like you said, we've been in COVID situation. This last couple of years, we've been so segmented from other people. We need people, we need camaraderie, we need accountability, we need partnership. So important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And friends are wonderful, but honestly, I think having somebody there that has been there, knows how to do that accountability, and will just say, hey, you know what? Let's look at what's really going on here. It is the route to go. So is there any one thing that is so great about helping women in particular? You said that you worked with women.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's like a total heartstring for me. This is like the pull. I have been, at my age, I've seen a lot, and especially through healthcare, you see a lot of things happen in healthcare that are just, I don't even know the word for it, just so detrimental to women's psyche. Thinking that we don't understand, that we don't know what's happening, that we don't know what's going on, that we're lesser than. I went through my own health battles. About 17 years ago, I had a double spinal fusion.
Oh my.
And I went through the whole healthcare system, and people thinking that I was, not as in bad shape as I was. Finally, when I did have my surgery, it was a 10-hour, very intense surgery.
Oh my.
At a
Yeah.
higher level hospital. So, I've been there. And I think that by being a woman, it's easier to listen to a woman, easier to understand where they're coming from, and knowing that they're not making it up. Like the things that we do, we're not making it up. And then knowing the psyche of a woman and how we work, because we're all fixers. We're women. We like to fix people.
Well, we try and fix people, but in reality, they have to fix themselves. But as another woman, as another coach, as somebody who knows how to get there, we can truly inspire and help them see the ways, make the suggestions, but it really is up to them whether they want to change the mindset or not, isn't it?
It absolutely is. But the empowerment part of it is so important. When you pick women up and just tell them, you know what, this is where you've been, but that's in the past and we can't change that. So going forward, where do you want to be? Like, find your why. That's my biggest thing. That's my first, that's my first session with my clients, is to find your why. Like, that has to be so important to you that no matter what, you're going to do it. So when you kind of get off track, you go back to your why.
Yeah.
And you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you help anybody else. So if you think right now that you don't have any time for this, I don't have time for this, I don't have money for this, this and that, and whatever, you're just digging yourself deeper into a hole. You have to put yourself first, because if you don't, you can't help anybody else.
That is so true. And do you have any other one or two concrete tips? Knowing the big why is always the number one first step, because if you don't know your why, you don't have any way of getting back to your true north again. So finding that why is absolute key. But for people who already know their why, but they just don't know the how. Do you have any little tips that?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So one of my biggest tips is to be a goal writer. Writing out a goal, something that you want to achieve, is very important. And then putting that goal in front of you.
Mhm.
So it could be as simple as something very small that you want to achieve. It can be something a little bigger, but you have to put it down on paper too. That's the big thing. We type and we talk a lot, but once you get it from your head to your heart to your hand, it's down on paper and it's out in the universe. So having goals is really important. Setting small goals and then larger goals, really, really important. The other thing is just to get out of your head. And that's so hard for us to do. So hard. But you can't think that you can't want something and then think that it's not achievable.
Yeah.
Because then it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to really close your eyes and believe in your heart that is achievable. And really, as humans, we can do anything. I mean, my gosh, we take rocket ships into outer space, and we've done all kinds of things. So, I mean, we can do anything. It just depends on your vision of it and what you see. So that's my two biggest things, I think, is just writing down your goals, putting them out there in the universe, and then believing in yourself that you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, those are great points. I love that. It's so important. And in all, factually, I like to deal with facts. And the fact is that if you have a thought, you can do it. That's it. You can do it, or you would not have that thought in the first place. So
that's absolutely true. Yeah.
That's so true. So tell our listeners, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure, absolutely. So my website is healthcoachjanice.com, and that's Janice as in like Jan Ice.
Okay.
So healthcoachjanice.com. And you can also, I have a new opportunity coming up in January of 2022. So if you'd like to get on the wait list for that, I'd be happy to share that. It's healthcoachjanice.com/new year, new you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. New year, new you. I love it. I know so many people. That's the New Year's resolution, right? But there's so much more in creating a new you. And when that happens, when you create the new you can let go of all that weight, can't you?
Absolutely. All that weight and all that baggage. Let's get rid of it. Leave it back in 2021. We got to move on.
Exactly. I love that. So they can find you at healthcoachjanice.com, and all of the information about the program in January in 2022 is available on your website.
Yes, ma'am. There is all kinds of stuff on my website. Actually, I have some recipes on there. I have some tips and tricks. I have some freebies on there. So just head to healthcoachjanice.com. It's JANICE, and go ahead and grab whatever you want off of there.
Awesome. I can't thank you enough for joining us. And do you have any last word that you would like to share before we sign off?
Absolutely. I want to tell everybody out there that it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in life. You have it in you to do what you want to do. So just say what you want. Say what you want and go for it. Do what you want, because we all have it within us. And for you to have the power to do that, you can do it, girl. Go ahead.
Oh, I love it. Janice, thank you so much for joining us today. And be sure to like the podcast, listen to it often, download it, and also go on over. I'll also have the link for seeing this beautiful, amazing lady on the YouTube channel. So, and while you're there, please subscribe and like it, because that just builds us up more. Thank you again, Janice. And I look forward to 2022 with you and a new me.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much.